Good evening, boys and girls. Did you know that the bee is Lawn Manor's mascot? Because it's a great place to be, and we like to be nice and be kind. Be kind. That's what's on my t-shirt here. Be kind. So, the other day, I wore my Save the Bees t-shirt, and my students were like, why is it so important to save the bees? And then I showed them the backside. 16 ounces of honey. Here, let me grab my water bottle. That is about 16 ounces right there. That's not a lot. All right, 16 ounces of honey requires 1,152 bees to travel 112,000 miles and visit 4.5 or 4.5 million flowers. 4.5 million flowers. So it's a lot of bees traveling a lot of miles, visiting, 4.5 million flowers just to make this amount of honey. That's not a lot of honey. And the reason bees are so important is because they pollinate. And my students are like, well, what does that mean? So I found a book, Hazel and the Honeybees Pollinate, or Honeybee Pollinates. Hazel and the Honeybee Pollinates. So Hazel's going to help me explain why this is so important. And this story is by Rebecca Donnelly. So let me get to the right page. Here we go. Bees and Blossoms. Hi, I'm Hazel. I'm a honeybee. I live in a hive with thousands of other bees. I am a forager. I find nectar and pollen to feed everyone in my hive. So, there's the hive. A forager is someone who goes out and looks for and collects. That's what bees do. They look for nectar and pollen and they collect it. In the hive, bees do a waggle dance to show others where to find the best flowers. The dance tells me which way to go and how far to fly. Today, I'm going to the apple orchard. Come with me. So that's how they communicate. They dance to tell the other bees. That must be an interesting dance. I love to fly. I have 2 sets of wings. They move so fast, they make a buzzing sound. I buzz. I fly over farms, fields, and gardens. There's the wings. See how there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Here is the orchard. The apple trees have many blossom. A blossom is a flower. I will land on the blossom that smells the best. I drink nectar with my long tongue. Tiny hairs on my tongue trap it. Then I swallow it. Yum. I choose another blossom. I carry the nectar in my crop. So they slurp up all that nectar. It's like sugar water. Imagine drinking soda all day for a job. That'd be fun. Pollen sticks to me each time I land on a blossom. I use my front legs to brush it onto my back legs. That's how I carry it home. I can make 12 trips each day. I can carry 4 times my weight in pollen in one day. That's a lot, and I believe they sometimes get pollen on their bodies too. 12 trips and 4 times their weight. That's a lot. Buzz off to another flower. Some of the pollen rubs off. This is how I pollinate plants. Soon apples will grow. I look for other kinds of flowers. These dandelions look yummy. So when she lands on the apple tree, she leaves some pollen on this flower, and then when she goes to this flower, she leaves some there, and then to this one, and she leaves some there. And when she goes here, she'll leave some pollen here and take some more over here. So she just keeps moving pollen all over the place. Hey, it's Molly the mason bee. Molly doesn't live in a hive like I do. She lives alone in a log. Molly gathers nectar too. Yes, there's many different kinds of bees. I bring nectar to my hive. We use it to make honey. All bees drink nectar and spread pollen, but only honeybees make honey. Worker bees store the nectar and pollen in cells. Architect bees make wax to cover the cells. So we have an architect bee here, and we have a worker bee, and this is wax. So they put the nectar and the pollen inside the cell, and then they cover it with wax. Soon the nectar turns into honey. We eat it during the long winter. Nurse bees feed pollen to our young. On my next trip, I'll look for more nectar and pollen. I can pollinate 5,000 blossoms in a day. That makes me a very busy bee. Oh, where is it? Here it is. So Hazel lands on an apple tree and apple tree blossom to drink the nectar. The pollen from the blossom sticks to her legs or body. She lands on another blossom. The pollen rubs off her legs onto the new blossom, and the new blossom is pollinated. Apples grow seeds and spread. The new apple trees and blossoms grow. Bees visit and pollinate them, so it's just a big circle. So the bees help our food, like apples. And if you look at this map, everywhere that's gold, which is most of the world, there's bees. Greenland and Antarctica don't have bees, but most of the world does have honeybees, because it's that important for our agriculture, our plants, and our food. So that's why I have a t-shirt that says, "Save the bees," because without bees, we wouldn't have food, or in my case, chocolate. So please help our bees by having flowers and plants that can help feed them, or maybe you can have a bowl of water that they can get some water out of. There's many things we can do to help bees. That's it for tonight. Good night, sleep tight, happy dreams. Bye now.